Hey there everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be talking about Blackest Night. Hey everybody and welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I am your host Brent. Today we're going to be talking about Blackest Night. Now, in a previous video about death metal having too many tie-ins, I levied the charge that I don't think you can read Blackest Night without reading the Green Lantern book as well. So I figured I'd investigate. So I picked up a copy of Blackest Night. This is the most recent version of the printing. This is Blackest Night Saga, and it includes Green Lantern, I think it's 43, Blackest Night 0 through 8, and some material from Blackest Night Director's Cut and Blackest Night Tales from the Black Lanterns. So I figured let's flip through it and see if we can figure this out now. But my plan is to read it by itself and do a review as well. So I'll give you a little extra information there. So here we have Black Hand. He is he is one of the villains of our piece, and we thought, based on, one of the things that was in this issue here, that he was going to be the villain of the Blackest Night. Now, the Blackest Night was something that was like picked up in an Alan Moore written issue of Green Lantern or Green Lantern Corps, and it's also in the Green Lantern Oath, in Brightest Day, in Blackest Night. No evil shall escape my sight, beware my power, Green Lantern's light. So Geoff Johnston kind of been setting this up from almost the very beginning of his run here in Green Lantern, and he'd been setting up various elements. You had the Sinestro Corps War, and he introduced the yellow spectrum of the Sinestro Corps, and they were the opposite. And then we introduced, after that, all the other different colors. We have Atrocitus, who's on the Rage, or the Red Lanterns here. We have Purple Lanterns, or Compassion Lanterns. We have Blue Lanterns. We have Green Lanterns. We have Orange Lantern. There's only one of them. And, now we have Black Lanterns. So this is Black Hand. And he's got this symbol, and I think this is his original costume. Got this symbol on his chest, this kind of this, upside down triangle. So what's really cool is that these writers, these artists, this is Doug Mahnke, he's doing the Green Lantern run at this time, taking over from Ivan Reis, or Ivan Reis, if you pronounce it probably correctly, or overpronounce it, I'm not sure. So we're just going to call him Ivan Reis, sorry. It's Americanizing, it's terrible, but I don't know, I've never met the man. Anyway, Ivan Reis was doing the art on the Green Lantern book from 1 year later, and then he kind of launched his career into the stratosphere by doing all the fantastic work that's in this book here in Blackest Night. So we had Blackest Night 0. I think this was a free comic book day comic across here. And what I was saying was, what's cool is that they turned Black Hand. They turned the symbol on his chest and made it the Black Lantern symbol, which you see on the top of this guy's head, Necron. And, it just made it something that you didn't see, that you apparently was there all along, and that was kind of ingenious, I thought. So this event takes place after Final Crisis, so Bruce Wayne is thought to be dead. We're at his grave here. Here's a page, as a picture from a flashback to Final Crisis 7, where we think Batman's dead. We got Barry Allen back after Final Crisis. He's alive, and he's reunited with Hal. Martian Manhunter also died during that event. He had a little bit of a different look at the time, and we see the Black Lantern start to rise at the end of this issue. And it all starts going to shit. Here in the first issue, Ivan Reis had started doing these 90s spreads where you have to turn the book, but sometimes I like these, sometimes I don't. But when he does it, it's just his art is just so gorgeous. I mean, it's just incredible. So I think so far, just flipping through this and flipping through my memory too, I feel like you'd be able to catch up and figure out what's going on. Like, this was a really cool moment. It was kind of him showing Barry all the different things he's missed over the years. Or, yeah, this is everybody who died, basically. There's Bruce Wayne, Batman at the front. You have Hawkman and Hawkgirl, who I think had just recently, like, found themselves or something again. You have the Guardians, and, you know, Geoff Johns wrote Green Lantern after this book, but this was really the culmination of everything. And while his run was good after Blackest Night, it wasn't as good as it was leading up to Blackest Night. This is the great culmination of his run, the apex, if you will. So here you have all the Green Lanterns, or all the Black Lanterns rising, and they're all kind of zombified. But the funny thing is that they're not just like eating brains, they all talk. So here's Martian Manhunter coming back, and when they did the Black Lanterns, they redesigned all of their uniforms to make them look consistent. And they all have this black and silver triangle, you know, motif going on in all of them. It's really, really cool. So in this series, you have other people going after other heroes and killing them. Like here you have Hawkman, you know, specifically so they can bring them back to the dead and bring them on their side. Now, I think this was the cover of the Blackest Night trade paperback and stuff for the longest time. This is issue number 2. And stuff like that. Okay, so here's Hal Jordan crashing into the bat signal. Remember the last time we saw Hal Jordan talking to Martian Manhunter, and then we had a bunch of pages with the Hawks here? This is the last time we saw Hal Jordan in Blackest Night number 1, right? And you flip to 2, and he's crashing into the bat signal. And then we cut away from him and go to all this other stuff with Aquaman, which is a cool moment. Aquaman is supposed to be dead at that time. The Spectre comes in here. This doesn't get... I know for sure this gets tied up in the Green Lantern book. So this thread never comes back. It's just a cool moment where you gotta turn the book sideways and go, oh my god, look how big he is. But there's still no Hal Jordan. And then, oh wait, here he is. And there's a little tie-in with Martian Manhunter back at this moment. Well, what happened? Like, how did Martian Manhunter get to Gotham City? How did they get to Gotham City? All that happens in a Green Lantern book, not Blackest Night number 2. It's like Green Lantern 44 or something like that, or 45. And at the end of that book, I think it said, like, I remember reading some of these Green Lantern books and them saying, to be continued in Blackest Night, you know, umpty such or whatever. And then you go back and reread this. So, let's keep flipping through here. This art is gorgeous. Ivan Reis doesn't get enough praise. Here's one of the Violet Lanterns. Their lanterns help with compassion. What's weird though is that, like, this was the last Lantern Corps to be introduced and even fleshed out, and they weren't fleshed out by the time Blackest Night rolled around. They were only fleshed out after the New 52, and Geoff Johns was still on Green Lantern, kind of continuing his run, and you finally figured out what the deal was with them a long, long time after this book. Then everything still going to crap. People are rising. You got all these dead villains. Here's Dr. Light, Cobra, Maxwell Lord back here. He was dead at the time. This is all pre-New 52. Firestorm. I think they called him Deathstorm here. He's flipping back and forth. You got Mara. I love this page. So this is Azrael coming back from the dead. He had died in issue 100 of his own series. And I remember I picked up the single issue in Washington, D.C. at Union Station. I was on a work trip. And I knew the issue was coming out, and I went and found a comic book store in the D.C. like National Mall. The closest one was in Union Station, behind the Capitol building. So I went down there, picked up the book, and sat down in the food court, ate some pizza for lunch or dinner or whatever the hell it was, and then read this book, and I got to this page, and I was so excited. I just thought it was such a cool like little throwback. Like, you know, here's Azrael, this forgotten character, but look at his costume. They redesigned his costume. It's cool. His face is different. It looks more like a skull, but that goes with the Black Lantern thing. And even the Black Lantern triangle motif works in with his kind of final Asbats costume, where you had the big shield and stuff coming down. And he's still got remnants of that thing here with these like bone wings, or maybe they're the cape tatters that the original Azrael costume had. You never see him again, but I just love that little throwback. Like, here's a hidden character that everybody forgot about. Alan Scott is here. This is before he was rebooted into a gay man with the New 52. And then here's where everything gets more interesting. You have Necron, and this is the supposedly like the entity that's inside this Black Lantern, and he actually turns into the main villain of the series after this point. Like, he's almost like a all-powerful god deity type thing. He's immensely powerful and scary. So let's go try to figure out what the hell is going on. We have all these different characters here, and then we flip to open. This is part 5, and now there's Hal Jordan and all these characters on this world. They're looking for something, right? All these characters. Well, did Hal Jordan gather these characters? The last person we saw with an energy shield around them was the Indigo Lanterns, the Purple Lanterns, as I like to call them. A lot of the stuff's focused on Mara and Flash. So let's go back, guys. Let's go back. Let's try and find out. We saw Green Lantern from the JSA, but not our Hal Jordan, right? Where the hell is Hal Jordan? This is all Flash in part 4. Where the hell is Hal Jordan? We're in part 3, going back. Firestorm, here he is. Here's Flash. Here's Martian Manhunter. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? How the hell did he gather all these people? I have no clue. I got no clue. But you know what? I bet you can find out in the Green Lantern book. So I have to reread this and see if like these little caption boxes explain what the hell is going on. There's certainly no recap pages, obviously, to say here's what happened. This was the best moment of the book. Sorry if I gave it away. Black Lantern Batman. Ah, there he is again. Beautiful, beautiful moment. Oh, there's more. But there's no recap or anything like that to tell you what's going on. You know? Somewhere in here, the Spectre is supposed to... I don't think it comes around in this main book, but Green Lantern number 50 of that series in 51 was all Hal dealing with the Spectre. Suddenly Flash is a Blue Lantern? When did that happen? I think that happened in the... Oh, there's a little bit here. But they deal with that. There was like a Blackest Night Flash tie-in book that went through all this stuff. Went through all the stuff that Wonder Woman's going through. Never see the Spectre here again. Here comes the Green Lantern Corps to save the day. I think their series, if I remember correctly, was a little like far out in space compared to what was going on here. And then, yeah, this moment happens. Sinestro gets a White Lantern ring. What's a White Lantern ring? I don't want to spoil it. But all of a sudden, Sinestro's all powerful. It's not really explained or explored. I remember there being a whole issue exploring this White Lantern power that Sinestro's wielding in this page against Necron. And, you know, all that stuff is just kind of like thrown away. It's not even set up. And then, of course, you have the end of the book. And all this is basically set up and a reset for characters who they wanted back alive. And then you saw all these characters on this spread here are featured in Brightest Day. So it followed Hawk, followed Jade, Firestorm, Martian Manhunter, Captain Boomerang, Reverse Flash is back alive. I guess did this set up Flash Rebirth? I can't remember, Maxwell Lord. Obviously, so that one funny thing here, they did not print it the way that it was in the original comic. So this was a 4-page spread. So this page and this page were in the middle, and then you had to fold out these other ones. So it was like, you know, wider than your screen here, wider than the video. And the live bubble, I don't think it was there twice. I want to say it was there once. But yeah, this is kind of the end of the book. So then we have the stuff from the Tales of the Blackest Night, #1. This is the Book of the Black. One of the characters, I think, is reading from this. And maybe this one of the setup things. I don't remember exactly what was going on in these. Or maybe these were these after the end of every book, too? I can't remember. Maybe it was. And then here's some commentary from the director's cut. Pick their favorite moments and stuff. So this will be fun to read after that. Some alternate covers, some designs. So I remember Ethan Van Sciver did a bunch of designs for the Black Lanterns. There's a Black Lantern Superman. And then Joe Prado did a whole bunch of lanterns. He's the inker on the book. I don't know if Ivan Reis did some designs in here. And then some alternate covers. Van Sciver, kind of the same cover, just different colors, different heroes on the bottom. Same villains in the back. I really like this one. This one's cool. And they did a whole bunch of toys, and I have a whole bunch of these Black Lantern toys. They made a Necron. They made a Black Lantern Superman. I have a Martian Manhunter. I have Zombie Batman, you know, this guy that we saw. So, but yeah, I'll be interested to reread this and see if it actually makes sense. Granted, I haven't reread all the lead up, you know, from the Green Lantern series, but you know, a good book. Like I know Final Crisis you can read on its own. I was talking about that. Infinite Crisis you can read on its own. This one, I really don't know if you can. And like all these guys, Luthor and Scarecrow, Mara, how do these guys get their powers? Did we even flip through that? I don't even remember. So, yes, I will reread this and I will post a review to let you guys know if you need to have both of these books. I believe you do, but we will find out. So, thank you guys for watching this overview of the Blackest Night saga, and I will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.